Well, kids, you're going to see the tapes of our home movies. They're going to be scratchy. They're going to be out of focus, a lot of it, because I just didn't know how to take good movies. But we hope you enjoy this. This is to start off. This is Toledo, Ohio. That first scene you saw was out in back of this house, 1644 Milburn Avenue, Toledo, Ohio. It's 1956.
There's Chubby Cheeks.
Since there wasn't any snow, this was probably in beginning of the summer of 56, I would think.
No, it wasn't summer because I had on a heavy
Sweater.
Oh.
Well, here's the snowman that was built out in back. I remember that. This is out in front of the house at 1644 Milburn Avenue. There was our bedroom. This is the first tape that you're looking at now, and there are three more tapes to go. Not all of them are 2-hour tapes. One is much shorter. You're going to find some of the films are misspliced. They're not in order. There's our Studebaker. 1952 Studebaker. Loved it. You're going to find the films are kind of mixed up. We tried to get them in order as best we could, but it just didn't always work out. This was in the backyard of Mosley, Lynn and Martin Mosley. He was an FBI agent stationed there in Toledo out of the Cleveland Division, and we became fast friends with them. Martin eventually resigned from the FBI, joined the state of Ohio, that's Lynn, joined the state of Ohio and headed up their investigative agency, headquartered out of London, Ohio. All of a sudden now we're on Martha's Vineyard Island. So this had to be one of the summer sessions. Maybe this was when we got transferred from Toledo to Kansas City. And I brought the family back to Martha's Vineyard to stay. So this would be August of 1956. This is out of Oak Bluffs. There's the ferry boat. Homeport Restaurant, and in the back to the right, that little house, that was Grandma Flanders' house. Homeport Restaurant, purchased by Grandpa and Grandma Stearns in 1946 in Menempsha. There's Nancy with Frank. and I think they bought it for $3,500. It sold just a few years ago for $250,000. Menempsha Beach. $1956.
Digging to China. It's Amy. What's Olga's last name? There's Nicka Larson, Porter. That's one of her kids. That's, Danny Larson.
We didn't realize it, but a few years after this shot was taken, that's where Jaws was shot.
That house in the background now is where your grandfather Flanders lived.
Great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather Flanders.
Aunt Barbara.
Uncle Bill. Oak Bluffs by the Flying Horses. Grandma Stearns.
If I remember right, one of the kids fell sound asleep in the back of Grandpa's truck, in the pickup truck there.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Stevie that did that. This was Grandpa's boat. We never did go out in it. He never did use it too much. He thought everybody ought to have a boat, so he bought one, but it was never used. Eventually, he sold it. Never. I don't ever remember taking a ride in it. I got him back there. Now you'll see on the back of Steve's neck, you'll see a Band-Aid. That's the result of a bee sting. You see, Frank would have been, what, 2? Steve would have been 4. Okay, I have left Martha's Vineyard. I'm traveling alone in the Studebaker, heading for Kansas City, my new office of assignment. This is on the New York State Thruway. I'm driving with one hand and taking movies with the other. And all of a sudden, we're in Springfield, Missouri. A lot has transpired. I'd reported into the Kansas City office. I was only there 4 hours when they handed me another transfer to Springfield, Missouri. I came down, found this house. It belonged to Bud Bergstrom. Remember Bergstrom's Dairy Queen? This was on Fairway Terrace, had a good-sized backyard. And there's the first dog we had, Princess. Now we're visiting the Boyers over at their house. And this is still in Springfield, Missouri. Their children were, there's Nancy, the big boy is Alan, and then there was Randy. Mr. Boyer has passed away. Mrs. Boyer, I guess, still lives out in Oak Harbor, Washington. I believe Nancy lives in Kansas someplace, Wichita maybe. And Randy is a practicing attorney, I think, in Seattle. There's our Pontiac again. That was a good car.
There's my fenced-in yard with the 18 trees.
Let's see, that was Sunshine Street right there. This is one of the scenes that we took when we took a ride down into the Ozark Mountains. That was the White River down around the Branson area. The river was dammed up. When it finally did flood, it covered several towns. Of course, they moved the people out of there. I think you'll get a chance to see the dam up there. Yeah, there it is up the distance. And it eventually became Table Rock Lake. Here was a ride we took down to the Arkansas border from Springfield, outside of Branson, on an old road. Look at that, cigarettes, $1.98 a carton. Gas was, I think, you could get the expensive gas for 21 cents a gallon. Well, look at Mr. Mitchell. James Mitchell, still living in Springfield, Missouri. That was Sharon and Susie. I remember his car, 1956 Ford station wagon.
What? Dodos.
Okay, this was about a block away. That's Delaware Street. And there was a little field right on the corner, if I remember right. And we went over there to fly the kites. That's to our backs right now is Sunshine Street. So this is corner Sunshine and Delaware. We're only 1 block away. And there is Juanita Smith. She had a game leg. We called her Chester from Gunsmoke. There's Stevie Smith, Sherry,
Scott.
Yeah, I think the boys will be able to recognize themselves. Oh, there's Elwyn Smith. Crazy as can be. All of us were. There's Jim Mitchell and Sarah, his wife. Sarah has passed away, and Jim has since remarried. Sarah was probably the only sane one of all of us there. Of course, we had to practice come-along holds. Isn't that terrible? That is just terrible. That's the chipmunk. And new boots. Now Frank starts this off. He hops once or twice, and it was like lighting a fuse. Everybody started to hop. He didn't know what he started.
That's Scott Whitaker, who lived in back of us, who was a friend of Frankie's.
This particular house is not there any longer. There's a bank there. They bought it and put a bank up. If I remember also, now this is Scott, and I think this is a first bicycle, isn't it?
It's his first two-wheeler, given to him by Ann and
Is that John Hurley?
John Hurley.
Ann and John Hurley, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see the mobile station across the way right there. We didn't know it at the time, but eventually Lou...
Look at the teeth that aren't there.
yeah. Lou McCammon bought that station and operated for many years. This film, excuse me, this film kind of got mixed up a little bit. It ran inside the camera. Mom was watering the backyard. Didn't know that I was taking her picture. You'll see her expression. But the film did not come out properly when it was developed. There's nothing wrong with your set. Mom's mad. She didn't want her picture taken.
Princess.
This was the post office in Springfield, Missouri, and I'm pointing up to my office. There were four of us in that office, stationed there. Mr. Boyer, Mr. Reeser, Mr. Mitchell, and myself. This is downtown Springfield, the square, when you could drive through it. I think it's a mall now.
Barth's.
Yeah, where I used to buy my suits. Well, here's a Christmas in Springfield, Missouri. See the popcorn and cranberries strung together. Oh, Santa must have just left. The tradition in our house always used to be to get up 1 minute after midnight. That is technically Christmas. And we always try to get up in time to catch Santa as he left. Never could, though.
Those lights were bright. Roby the Robot. My new coat. Is this at Fairway Terrace or?
Yeah, this is Fairway Terrace. We haven't moved over to the other one, so this must have been, Christmas of 56 or 57.
Yeah, 57 probably.
I still had black hair. This was taken down in the Ozark Hills. I had a lead to try and catch a fugitive at a monastery. So I went down there, making it a sightseeing trip also. Well, the fugitive wasn't there. He had since left the monastery. He had visited and then took off. But from the monks, I did get some background information. This is back in, I think, in our driveway back home. Good picture. Good picture. Lots of these pictures will show lots of teeth missing.